Hello and welcome to another episode of No Load Time. My name is Obed Villas, and with me is the man that would kill for Megan Thee Stallion, Mr. Julian.
Oh man, good to be with you, brother.
Good to
I
be
did
here,
not see
sir.
that intro coming.
Oh, haha. See, I
I
kept it.
did,
I thought
that
about it
was good. That was
earlier
good.
today. Yeah, I had it on the wraps. It's like I'm
Oh,
not
it's like
even.
I'm waiting for this one,
Yep, I'm
man.
not even gonna mention it because we'll talk
Nice,
about it,
nice.
right? But
Oh
I had it
man.
on the wraps. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, doing great. Great to be here with you. We
Yeah,
got
man.
plenty of stuff to talk about, including that She-Hulk episode. We'll get into it for sure. But man, it's always gonna be with you. We got a nice holiday weekend coming in. So for those of you who are watching or watching this later on, hope you all have a great Labor Day if you're here in the States. Enjoy your weekend. But yeah, man, I'm doing great. How are things going with you?
Cool. Yeah, doing good. Not much happening. Other than the T Hulk, I totally forgot about my daughter's six. I wasn't able to catch Lord of
Ah,
the Rings. I forgot about that last night.
yeah,
Had more important things to worry about, but I'll probably catch that over the weekend. One
yeah.
thing I did get, Joe. I got the Cowabunga collection
Oh, cool.
for Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I was able to get a Switch copy. Very good. Like
Hmm.
it's very good stuff. Yeah. So I think that as a collection, and I own various like digital Eclipse collections. I own the Mega Man, the first Mega Man collection they did, the Disney Afternoon collection. I have the Street Fighter 30th anniversary collection, and now Cowabunga collection. This one
Yeah.
by far is the most like feature rich out of all of them, because it has like concept art for the games. Like Konami still had this
Mm.
stuff like at HQ, which is insane to me to think, right? Especially with everything that's been going on with Konami. And I don't know if you noticed, Joe, but like ever since like I want to say since Monday, the Konami account has been very active.
I noticed that. Yeah.
Very, very active. I think something's cooking, and we'll probably know next week or in a couple of
Mm.
weeks when Tokyo Game Show happens. Um, but it seems like there's going to be a Konami sort of like resurgence. Yeah, I can't remember if
It's good.
Digital Eclipse did the Castlevania, the one that had like Symphony of the Night and Rondo Blood. I can't remember if they did that, but I do have that one too. That one's also very good. But yeah, Cowbound Collection, very good. 13 games, a lot of concept art, all the soundtrack, the entire soundtrack for the all 13 games. It's in the game. They have stills from the show, game boxes from both the U.S. and Japanese versions, as well as the manuals for the U.S. versions. They have sort of a little like strategy guide thing going on, which is hit and miss. It's not too great, but it's cool that it's a feature that's there. Some of the games have enhancements like removing slowdown and flickering, especially from the NES games. Those games uh, really suffered a lot from that. So I'm glad that that's an option, and it's being done in a very cool way. Um, but yeah, I played a couple of the games and very good. Like I highly recommend it. Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's awesome to hear. I remember you for a while. You've been saying you wanted to get
Yeah.
that bundle. So the fact that you finally got it, I'm sure over this weekend you're gonna get plenty of time in there
Yeah.
for sure.
I'll jump back in and check it out a little bit. I did last weekend. I did went back and started and played more of the Shredder's Revenge.
Oh,
That game's
okay.
really good though. Like Shredder's Revenge is legit good. Like if I went back and played Turtles, a little bit of Turtles in Time, a little bit of the arcade, um and I haven't played Shredder's Revenge just last weekend. Shredder's Revenge is really good. Like it's miles. Like if you have to get one Ninja
Mm,
Turtles thing, I would say get Shredder's Revenge because it's just so much fun, and graphics are awesome, music's excellent. It's overall as a package is great. But if you are feeling nostalgic about TMNT, definitely pick up. I would say, you know what, pick up both because they're both excellent. Even as a standalone thing, and just having like games that are kind of hard to get now or expensive, like the tournament fighter games and Turtles in Time for Super NES, which goes for over 50, 70, $80 or whatever. And of course, having the arcade versions of the both arcade games, it's totally worth it. No problems running, runs very well. I haven't seen any emulation glitches. I did hear that the online is kind of hit and miss, and I think it's just the arcade games and the SNES tournament fighters that have online, but I heard it's not great. I mean, I don't I I bought it not to play online. I have no need for it, right? Um, so just to me, it's like it's not. It doesn't even matter. I heard the online on the other one on Shredder's Revenge is really good though. So
Mm.
if you're looking like that's an excellent party game, right? I think I mentioned it last time I talked about it. So no, that game's real good, and the package as a whole, and I'm hoping to see some sort of resurgence from Konami, right? Because it seems like something happened, and like stuff is happening at Konami. Science of Life, and not only Science of Life, but the products that they've been putting out since they did the Symphony of the Night thing collection they did. Um, a lot of people are really liking like that one, the Contra one, the other Castlevania collection they released, and now this one. And then having them putting the Metal Gear games back on a digital store or on digital. Those games got delisted for like 3 months, and I think, and it was because of footage. Like Kojima used like archive footage for MGS2 and some of the things that Kojima did. Right, they had copyrights that they had to renew, and that's why there was that lapse. So, and Kojima's been tweeting about like Metal Gear for the last week or so. So, I think something's gonna happen next week or whenever at Tokyo Game Show. So I'm excited.
That would be awesome, man.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool. That'd be
Yeah.
pretty legit.
Yeah, I'm cool with Konami. Yeah, I'll forgive him. I'll forgive him if it's like Capcom, right? It's like we had that when Capcom committed the unforgivable sin of trying to
Mm.
reboot Devil May Cry, and that's when everyone was calling them Crabcom, and they've turned it around
Yeah.
like basically like everything that Capcom has put out since I would say safely speaking since Street Fighter Five, Street Fighter Five, everything that Capcom's put out has been excellent. So you know,
Mm.
it's yeah, man. I'll forgive him. I forgave Capcom, but Konami was really egregious, and the horror stories that were coming out for employees and all that. And at the end of the day, it's Chick-fil-A. It's still delicious. I don't care what they do with their money. It's not my business. So yeah,
Yeah, that's a
yeah,
good point. Good point. No, it's a good point. Yeah. I'll give a brief update here because I know She-Hulk will probably be one of the main first kind of shared topics of an update there. But what I did get to do over this weekend, I think I mentioned it on the podcast last week that I was going to go check out Rogue One, the re-release in IMAX. That was awesome.
cool.
Due to weather conditions, I got there later than I had planned, and I missed the sneak preview. But fortunately,
Okay.
I have AMC A-list, so I was able to get a reservation for the showing that happened immediately after.
Oh, nice.
Wait for the first 10 minutes, whatever, and see that sneak preview in IMAX. And let me tell you, my man, it looks really, really, really good. Like I think my reactions before I saw the trailer for Andor was that I would say had similar feelings to Book of Boba Fett, where I was like, I'm gonna watch it, Star Wars. I'm sure it'll be fun, whatever. But it wasn't something that I was excited for or something I was asking for compared
Yeah.
to like Obi-Wan or Ahsoka.
It was like
There's
Solo,
other-
right? No one asked for it. I'll
Yeah.
still watch it.
Like I'm still gonna watch it. I hope it's good, whatever. That's kind of how I felt with Andor, but with these spots, I don't know if you want me to say what they showed or keep it. It wasn't really spoilery.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. You can go. You can share it. I mean, if you're not on NDA, you can go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fan thing. So, I mean, many people out there have seen it. But just long story short, is it the sequence where you see Skarsgård's character and Andor are meeting each other. Essentially, he sent Andor out on a recon mission to acquire a MacGuffin. We don't know exactly what it is. At least I couldn't make it. It's kind of it almost looked like a Rubik's Cube. It's kind of funny. I could describe whatever it was. Um, and Skarsgård's character is talking to him and basically trying to ask him, one, how did he get it, because he was actually shocked that he was able to get it so easily. And that's where you get the sequence that you get in the trailer where he's like, well, you just act like you're one of them, like you blend in. They're so oblivious, they're so prideful, they don't imagine anyone would ever just walk into their home and take their stuff and walk out. So it wasn't that difficult. Is how he basically is coming across. And that's when the Skarsgård character ends up saying, I can recruit you. I want you to join the rebellion. I want you to join this group. You have purpose. And starts to begin to speak to him as if he actually knows him. And Andor's like, wait a second, how you know me? And the guy, he mentions he knows how his father died. I won't spoil that, but violent for sure. But so Andor's a little like teed off. He's like, I'm just here just to get my stuff and get out, whatever. Which I've seen people say online that sequence was a little weird, considering that like the whole Rogue One thing is like, I've been in this fight since I was 6 or something. And it's like, he's not a part of the rebellion here. He's just kind of like a rogue. So it was a little weird. But anyways, as they're having their intense discussion, the MacGuffin's left on like a table. In comes the Imperial soldiers, not stormtroopers.
Like officials?
Yeah, like officials,
okay.
Exactly. Yeah, so they come running in, really cool action sequence. They work together to get back the MacGuffin and end up leaving together, showing that's probably like the start of him really joining the cause for the rebellion. Really, I think really the key of it was the dialogue, the story behind that left me more interested for more. I think everyone else will enjoy it when they see it. And the action sequence was just phenomenal. I mean, watching it in IMAX especially, I'm like, this could have been put in a theater, bro. I mean, this is ain't no cheap stuff. And outside of that, really good stuff. They got the sizzle reel, whatever. And then Lord of the Rings, I won't talk about that much. I know we'll talk about that more if you see it. But you want to talk about things that look good. Even it makes Andor looks good, but bro, this Lord of the Rings thing, bro, they went hard on this,
really?
Man.
Good.
They went hard on this. It's pretty impressive from that standpoint. Now, content-wise, what they're doing with the story, I'm not a deep Lord of the Rings lore kind of guy. I know enough to I've watched the movies. I've not read the books. I want to be very clear on that. I know small details here and there. But it's just kind of cool because I'm watching. I'm like, it feels like a lot of this is very canon. Like you have to kind of know enough to really get into it. And if you don't, you might be a little lost. But to me, I was like, oh my gosh, is he referencing this? Is he referencing that? And they kind of did keep what's before canon. I mean, this is not a spoiler, but like even just the transitions, like they use the whole map thing to like in the Peter Jackson, like where like, you see the maps going from one part of the land to the other, to Middle Earth to here or whatever. Yeah. So like it kept that same feel like the traditional Lord of the Rings that we've seen before, but still doing something new. Galadriel, incredible. Definitely a standout. Cool. But yeah, I look forward to talking to you more about spoiler wise.
Yeah.
Speak about next. But yeah, man, that's kind of my immediate what's up aside from us talking She-Hulk.
Yeah. Let's jump in. Very different episode from all the other ones. Yeah. And I think that keeping it at 30 minutes does actually wonders for this show.
I agree.
Because it doesn't overextend its welcome.
Yep.
And
it's just enough.
Yeah. I still think it's funny.
Same.
I still think it's very entertaining and it's funny. I know that people out there are like this, like for a lot of people out there, this was the straw that broke the camel's back, and saying Marvel's dead.
No,
and comparing, and it's like, oh, like Tony Stark didn't do it. Like comparing, it's a completely different character, dude. It's like, why are you even comparing She-Hulk to Tony Stark? It's like,
I mean, no one said this, and Star-Lord did a dance off with Ronan
Yeah,
in
right,
Guardians. I mean,
right.
they're literally at, like a movie that's against like Ronan the Accuser, and there's a Let's Dance off, bro.
I know.
Ain't nobody complain then.
Yeah,
Don't get
and
me wrong. I think it wasn't the dance. I think it was the dance move that was a hot topic, and I get
yeah,
it. I get it for some people. I'm not gonna.
I get it.
That's out of my reach. But just generally speaking, right? I think I have that same point where like it's the tone. Understand the tone of the show.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of people think that that they just don't understand the the show, and I
Yeah,
think that's the problem here. Like
agreed.
they're coming in expecting that this is gonna be, Captain America: Winter Soldier, and it's not. It's
No, come
not.
on.
I mean, it's a comedy show.
Yeah,
It is a superhero dramedy basically because you
yeah,
have drama elements, right? But it's mostly written and told in a comedic way, and you
yes,
need to understand that. Like this is
yes.
not your standard like Marvel thing. Like eventually we'll get there again, right? And I'm sure that soon we'll get there, but this is not like if you're coming in looking for like the sequel to Endgame, right? It is not. It is you're looking at the wrong show, right? Now that doesn't mean that the show could get more serious once like Daredevil
Right.
and other characters show up, right? So I guess we'll wait and see. But um, I if I don't have anything negative to say, dude, it's like yeah, it is funny. It was well written. Is and even the shows landed right. And I know that some people like a lot of people take argue with like the dude, right? The dude that was that that was supposed to be like he was dating was it a shape shifting elf, right? And
Yes,
because the
yes. The
dude's a total
Asgardian.
yeah, the dude's a total idiot. But then you have the other guy that balances it out, right? Uh, it, I
It's a joke. It's a
it's a
joke.
joke.
It's not that
It's a,
serious. It really isn't
thanks,
that.
Joe.
If you're
Thanks.
that fragile with it, like, come on, guys.
There you
I'm just
go.
gonna say it like it
Joe
is. It's
said it.
not.
Yeah, I mean,
It's you can't take. I mean, and listen, and even if there were certain things that they were trying to do in this, I would be saying something different, but it ain't that serious.
yeah, exactly. I mean, it was fine.
Yeah.
It was funny. There's questions now, right? Because now there's like,
Sure.
why were those guys after? Were they after her blood? What's going on, right? So now we
And
got
who's the
questions.
boss?
Exactly. Who's the boss? And is uh Blonsky gonna keep his end of the deal? And what's all that, right? Now we have questions.
Yeah.
And we're getting
Building
there,
them.
guy. But you gotta. We're getting there, but you gotta remember that this is written in a comedic way. It is a, first and foremost a comedic take on the
Yeah.
MCU, and you gotta understand that, guys, because like a lot of people are hating the show just because of hating it. Um,
Yeah.
Go ahead,
I
man.
mean,
Uh,
Obid, would people really have this complaint? The same our audience. I'm just being straight with you. Like if they would have switched it, and it would have been like the super dumb, like blonde girl, like attorney who's like, yeah, I thought I was dating Ryan Gosling or something. Like, and that was the joke. Would they
yeah,
feel that way? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, it feels like people took it personal or something. Like, that's what I feel like. I feel like they think like
yeah,
it's not that much. It's not that much of a message. Like, there's messages in it, but
yeah,
I didn't take it that. I think like they are really having fun with it, like making characters out of it. Now I will say, I personally thought that this episode kind of kept the show here. And when I say that, it's like the first episode was a really nice foundation. I liked the first episode, really good core. And then the second episode was like, oh my goodness, like it actually took it
yeah.
up another notch. This one didn't take it up another notch for me. It kind of stayed on the
Left it
same
there.
level
Yeah,
as that
I
last
agree.
episode, which is not, I'm not gonna say it's a bad thing,
Yeah,
but it's like I think I was maybe getting a little too excited too early because I was like, oh my goodness, like the Abomination, like they're gonna maybe the next episode and then the Wolverine reference in the last episode and all this kind of stuff. It's like, oh, maybe whatever, and then it's like it's her going on trial and a lot of jokes and whatever. But to your point, the 34-minute that within that close to that 30-minute time
yeah,
frame keeps it honest. So you can have that fun, you can have these parts of the story that continues to grow, and you don't get too over the top.
Exactly.
Like a James Gunn like kind of thing where like
it wrangles
if
it
you
back.
can,
Yeah.
yeah, you need something to keep it within those boundaries. Like even when you see Thor: Love and Thunder coming out next
Next
week,
week.
you know when you get to check it out, you'll see what I'm saying. Like the parts that are cool, but the parts that are goofy sometimes are a little overly like. That's why like a show like this really works in this format. Like a comedy for Marvel works in this way, I think, because they're able to balance out
Yeah.
the drama and the comedy together. I will say the legal stuff kind of takes me out of it a little bit because it's so bad. I think that's probably one of the weaker parts of like the
Yeah.
story because it's so badly not realistic in any way. I know a lot of people in that side of the world and that type of field. I've been raised around that kind of thing, so I'm very knowledgeable of. I'm not going to say I'm a lawyer by any means, but so that part was a little, but it's a joke again, not that serious. And then I think the one thing that I can't defend that for some reason this episode stuck out more than the other ones because the other ones I was like, oh, it's better, but then for some reason this episode the CGI looked more off. I don't know why.
Yeah. It's
But there
inconsistent.
was
Yeah.
moments that just didn't work for me.
Yeah.
Um, and
Yeah.
I feel like they tried to hide it a little bit, and you can see in how they put the episode together. But maybe let's hope that that's just because this episode they were like, we can be cheap with it, it's whatever. And then like when you get to the real She-Hulk fight sequences, like that's gonna come in later on, and that's what
Yeah.
I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for them to give her some action, guys. Like give her some really cool stuff to do the same way you would with the guy characters. Give her that stuff. Don't leave her down to this like
Attorney at law thing.
regulatory law. Like that's
Yeah.
good, but
Yeah.
give her the stuff you would give her the guys.
I
So
think we'll get
hopefully
there.
that's where it goes next.
How many episodes is it? Is it 7?
9.
9? Okay.
9.
So this one's a little
Yeah,
bit
so
longer. So
This is the third one.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
also
Miss Marvel 6.
yeah, and I think that it's pretty obvious right now if you haven't caught it that the end credit stuff is not meant to be taken seriously.
Right.
It always ends in a joke. So by now you guys should know
You
that
gotta know.
unless like something major happens, expect it to be a joke. And that way
Absolutely.
you're not gonna be disappointed. So hey, you know what? We're shilling over here for Disney. It's totally fine. It's we've been critical, but you know what? We can be as narrow minded as to say that this is bad because just you don't like it because it's not. It's actually pretty good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, cool, man. Do you want to take a break and then we'll come back to the DC stuff, or do you want to?
Yeah. Let's take a break here.
Yeah, all right, man. So we'll be right back. And we're back. Joel, it's that time for our segment. DC, what are you doing? So what happened this week in the WB, sir?
Oh my goodness, a lot more revelations coming to light, my friend. So there was one of the big ones that you sent to me right away was that one of the executives, she's been with the company for 33 years, I want to say, since the Iron Giant days. One of the heads of production over in content over at Warner Brothers. She's no longer with the company. She is stepping down. I think that's probably the nice way of saying she probably quit or probably was, kind of indirectly given the boot. I think it's Courtney Valentini, I think is how you say her, say her name. I want to make sure I'm thinking right. But yeah, so she's out. And then you got the drama going on, Obed, with Lionsgate. Now that these guys or Legendary, Legendary, that they're cutting ties with Warner and looking to make moves with Sony. And
well, allegedly the contract was up and they decided not to even negotiate, and they're apparently they've reached out to Sony and Paramount, and they've both shown interest, but it seems like Sony is going to be the front runner.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And then another, we're just running through. There's literally a lot of stuff that came out, guys.
Yep.
One of the other things that I texted this to you on Saturday after we recorded last week. I texted Saturday and sent you how there was a article that came about explaining Ezra Miller, about how Ezra really went straight to the Warner's executives and actually had a meeting in their offices. And the real reason behind it was the moment that Ezra found out, hey, there's a chance that this movie is going to get canceled.
Mm-hmm.
That's when Ezra went crazy and was like, oh my gosh, I can't let this be done. Like Ezra didn't care if, they didn't have, good press on, accusations of what's been going on and, all the things that have been said and the reports of, no longer working, whatever. But the idea that this movie specifically was not even going to come out, that could have been it, was like the straw that broke the camel's back. And supposedly, the actor really cares about the role. I personally read this and kind of read it like this is kind of the management doing damage control and putting this out to change the public perspective. You and I are very familiar with what PR can do for people and organizations, and can really cause there to be the right narrative around specific high-profile people. I'm not calling it misdirection. I'm just saying control the narrative. That's how you take it how you want. But when I saw that, and then the same article, and this is where I had to send you the receipts in essence. But in the same article, it was also said that screenings for The Flash are so good.
I don't believe
that it is as good just as good as The Dark Knight since the Chris Nolan. And I was going, I'm not saying this is a bad movie. Hear me out, guys. That sounds so messed up because they said that with Shazam. They said that with Aquaman. They've said that with Birds of Prey. I'm not throwing this up. There are receipts, bro. The Suicide Squad.
Birds of Prey, man. It's rough.
You can say that about any of those movies. That ain't true about any of them. The Dark Knight is on a whole nother level than any of those movies, even if you like any of the ones that I mentioned.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that this movie is a bad movie. It's just there's so much damage control going around The Flash, Obed. And then on top of that, then I got to listen to the interview that was going around with the scooper from Inside Scoop from The Wrap and from Fandango. They had a Twitter Spaces hosted, and a lot of news stories came out from it. I got to finally listen to it over the weekend, and essentially, some of the things that have been going on that's being heard on the inside at Warner is they really like Blue Beetle. They think that's going to be really good. They've got stuff planned for that. That's great.
That's the kid from Cobra Kai, right?
Kid from Cobra Kai. They really are, and then that they kind of have a similar feel in that movie. to Miss Marvel, where it's like she has her abilities and her family knows about it. So like they kind of do the same thing, but make it very like Hispanic and make like jokes with the family, and everybody has an idea what to do and all this kind of stuff. So supposedly, according to what's saying there, that's a good thing. But the Batgirl, the thing, well, that was, I mean, the Batgirl thing was probably the big thing that came out of that discussion, was that according to these people's sources who have actually watched the funeral screenings for this movie, and these are people who were like really hurt about this movie being canceled. They were like, actually, like we can't defend this movie because it actually was not that good. The exact quote was, it was like a higher budget CW pilot.
Very interesting.
And they were like, we definitely did not work the way they thought. And even though Michael Keaton's in it, he's like the retired Batman, which go figure, we expected that. And then like only one time he suits up to help her. Like he has two really important cameos or something, and that's it. And I mean, if the reports are true from the stuff I heard, it's like she kind of makes her own costume and it's like Halloween or whatever. So it's not like she really like trained or did anything to like really have a movement to be a hero. Yeah. It's just like she happens to fall into a circumstance where she has to help. Not super heroic, but it's kind of sad to hear that. But there was basically like they shifted the argument from, man, I wish this movie see the light of day, to like, it's really okay. I don't think this is ever going to come out.
Yep.
Then the last bit, Obed, which is the thing you sent us as well here in the show notes we got here, is the regret about the Snyder Cut coming out, or that being released.
Yep.
They're upset about, because they thought that would kind of quench the, as they referred to them as a Zack Snyder cult following that's like, gonna go crazy.
The Zack Snyder cultists.
Yes, that's how it was being referred to as.
Zack Snyder about to lead an insurrection of sorts.
Oh my gosh, they're gonna march into the
I'm gonna march into the studio.
We're gonna fight like movie.
Heck.
We got to be careful, bro. That was pretty good. It's pretty good. But like saying like they're afraid of these Zack Snyder fans, bro. But supposedly that's one of the things they regret that it even came out, because they thought that would just kind of end the whole release the Snyder Cut, and in fact it only threw gasoline on the fire and made the fan base even more active, which of course it did, because if it wasn't good, we wouldn't have reacted that way, Obed. We wouldn't have said like we want more of that stuff. Zack Snyder's Justice League was really good.
It's really good. Yeah.
It's like one of the best comic book movies in recent. I mean, it's up there, bro.
Yeah. You know how I feel about it. I love it.
It's fantastic.
I still love it. Yeah.
So that was interesting, but I guess I think it's Dan Lin, I think is the guy now, is the new president. I think if I'm quoting it right, the new president of DC Films. So he will be reporting directly to Zaslav, which is a really interesting move there.
Yep. Well, the thing is that there's rumors that Hamad is out after Black Adam. Yeah.
Yes.
That's the rumor.
The contract's up, and they're just gonna.
And then that's it. Yeah.
Walk.
And then the other big thing is that no DC fandom this year. So that's,
I'm not surprised by that, man. I mean, they were at Comic-Con.
Comic-Con, yeah.
That's all they needed to do. They don't have anything else because they killed everything else. I mean, what else are they going to show? Next year, maybe next year. But
it could be back.
I wouldn't rush it. I would wait for them to have an actual new slate and then.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like, for some reason, I was kind of excited at first, right? But then it seems like a lot of the choices that the merger, or or the people in charge now are making are a little difficult to understand. And this goes not only for DCWB, it goes back for all of their properties right now. Like, there's something super fishy happening, right? And I can't really put my finger on it, and it's worrying, right? When you have WB, which is a legacy, an institution, right? Changed hands twice in 5 years.
That's true.
And and them not being able to do more than 2 movies this year, it is worrying, right? So
yeah, they're in significant debt. That's not a hidden thing. And this new CEO wants to raise some capital to help, you know, help that company really thrive. I think it makes sense. I hope that they can bring it back. I think keeping Black Adam to come out this year was the smart move,
Yeah,
because if you're gonna get a movie that's gonna make money, it's a movie with The Rock,
yeah,
and a movie
true.
with The Rock as a superhero. Like, we haven't seen that before. He's always like a superhero in his movies. Like, you could
I
say
mean,
in
he's
Fast and
technically a
Furious,
superhero in Fast and the
superhero.
Furious. Yeah, he
Right. You
got
can say that
superpowers.
there. But like this, like I can tell you from the footage I've seen of this movie, man, it's like he's Superman in this movie.
Yeah,
So if it works off the way it's supposed to, great. So that's a smart move to help them. Hopefully, if it is good, that will give them a good boost in their numbers and help them financially. And it makes sense now why they wanted to move to theatrical. They want to make theatrical events. That's a part of their future of the business. They don't want to have this HBO Max thing where, let's be honest, the Batman, if that had been left in theaters and not been an HBO Max 45-day window thing, they would have made way more money.
yeah,
They would have done a lot better. But because it went straight to HBO Max, that definitely cut into the box office revenue and probably hurt their business.
yeah. Um, well, it's interesting. We'll see, and we'll see what happens with WB.
Yep.
You know, I do feel a certain amount of concern, but you know, hopefully, they can pull through. I mean, worst case scenario, they could become part of Disney Prime.
Nice. I see what you did there.
So, so there's rumors that Disney is working on a membership program akin to Amazon Prime. Um, I I don't know what they're trying to do here, right? It seems like what kind of what are they trying to accomplish, right? Because like they already have the service, right? They already have Disney Plus. It's already going up, right? And you know you're gonna get ads or pay more, right? What are you trying to do? Your parks are overcrowded. I mean, unless you go now, right, when no one can go because it rains all day every day. I mean, this is like the worst time of the year to go. It's still
The
like
kids are back to
it's
school and
still a million degrees. Kids are in school, right? And then it rains, torrentially every day. So, um, I I don't know what kind of like discounts or other perks they're planning, but this is strange. Like to me, right? I think, right? Um, I'm not sure what the numbers are for like their online retail presence. You would think that most of the retail stuff that most of the stuff that you would find at like Amazon is licensed. It's not like Disney. They do sell a lot of premium stuff on their site that you can't get anywhere else, and they do, and I do know for a fact that it's they do move a decent amount of money with that with a site. That said, Joel, I think where something like this could come in play is to avoid the Figment popcorn bucket situation that we had this year,
mm,
right? Um, where instead of just having to go to the park to buy this park exclusive sort of merchandise, you would pay the $20 a month, have access to an account, and be able to purchase or queue up for these things online instead of having to go to the park.
yeah.
That's where something like this could make sense to me, right? I don't think that this would offer any discounts on park tickets, resorts, or anything else, right? They already charge what they charge, and a lot of people just don't like it's already hard as it is, like to get discounts for like the parks, and I just don't think that that's gonna be part of this thing. Um, maybe they'll give you a special discount code, right? That you can book your vacation at a discounted rate, because I've seen those before. Like when I worked at reservations, we had different codes for different It's like, hey, I saw this on an a AAA thing, or I saw this on like my newspaper. Like they told me to give you this code, and that's how we would track it, right? And then depending on the code, we would apply a certain discount. Most codes were just the same. It's just different codes that they use for marketing
Mm.
tracking, right? Um, but I just don't really see other than outside the retail realm. Like, of course, it's going to probably include Disney Plus, and then it's going to give you like some retail advantage to some extent. That's what I think. But I don't know, dude. This is strange. We'll know more next week. But what do you think?
Yeah, I felt similar to you. Like I had to stop and think what would a Disney membership look like. And when I read the article, and the main selling point kept being discounts, and I'm going timeout. You're telling me I have to pay money to get discounts on paying money?
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like that cannot be the core of it. That's a good benefit. I think that's actually something that's a good part of it, but that cannot be the core of it. For an example, when I think of if you're comparing it to Amazon Prime, when I think of Amazon Prime, I think of two things immediately. I think of free shipping,
Yeah.
right? And I think of their video streaming service now with like Lord of the Rings, right? And their music streaming, like their streaming stuff plus their shipping. Yes, there are technically discounts you can get on things with it. There are
And
items that you
specific
can buy
items.
through their
Yeah.
website, right? There's Prime Day deals and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff that
Or
you
like,
can do.
for example, the PS5, that the only way you can
PS5,
queue up is by having Prime, right? That sort of thing.
that
Yeah.
sort of thing. But if that was the core of their business, and then you got discounts on a separate the video on demand service that they have, and discounts on shipping, I could tell you I probably would not be as interested in it in the same
Yeah.
way. You need to have the subscription be built around a product. So my thought was maybe Disney Plus. You bump down the price of Disney Plus in there, but you get Disney Plus, plus you get your discounts, plus you get some type of exclusive. I don't know what that is. I thought maybe you get, I'm just going to throw something crazy out there, Obed. You get 4 visits to a park within a certain blackout window. Like you can't do it just on like Christmas Day or something. Like you get like specific benefits. So it's like almost like quarterly, and it has to be used within a certain time, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't know exactly what you build it around, but it on paper it does not sound appealing to me if it's just built around discounts. Because why would I pay for a subscription just to have discounts? I don't know, but this isn't like health insurance or something that I have to have. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's already, a burden enough that Netflix is $21, and then this thing's gonna going up to like $10 or $11. You know. Um, I just
it,
don't see the value on this thing unless you get like specific like access to specific merchandise, right?
or like events, like specific like streamed events or some. I don't know, something like you get like D23 streamed at home. I don't know, something like you got to
Yeah,
have
yeah,
something that's crazy.
exactly. Uh, or even an expanded library of like
Yeah.
Disney Plus stuff. So
Yeah. You get your Amazon app, like you get like a Disney app on your phone, you can buy merch and all the whatever, and you get free shipping on that merch, or something like has to be done to build a product around it. It can't just be the
yeah,
discount.
yeah, it's strange for sure. I'm hoping that they address a lot of the problems that they're still having with the theme parks, right? I think that you know they that it's a problem that they need to address. They also need to address the drop of the drop in, and they have to acknowledge it, right? And it's a drop on revenue uh from the studios. Like studios are not doing what they used to. They've already bungled Star Wars. We're probably not gonna get another movie in a while, and then just these new Marvel characters don't have the same, attract, or I guess they're new characters, right? They're introducing new characters. A lot of people are going to watch them. Like I think Doctor Strange did really well. Thor did well, not as well as they hoped, but still did well. But you at some point, right? Going back to what we talked about, I don't, I, it was maybe last week or previous week about you'd have to do something to retain your Marvel guys, like the Marvel the people that are going to the movie theater to watch Marvel stuff, and you gotta bring back your legacy characters. You just can't. I mean, there's no way, right? You either do that or you gotta jump into like the big stuff right away. I think Black Panther is gonna be very telling. Um, the article that you sent me about the rumored casting for the next phase, if true, right? Incredible. We're not gonna go into it because it's like
It's a
super,
rumor.
like,
Yeah.
it's not. It is true. What truly a rumor.
Yeah.
There's some like things that would seem far fetched, but at the end
Yeah.
of I don't think that it's out of the realm of possibility.
It's
So
yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I
it's
agree.
one of those. Um, yeah, we'll see. They I think they also need to address the parks. I know the parks are they did really well. If it wasn't for the parks right now, they would be in a really tough spot. But parks
Yeah.
have really like up the revenue performance on the parks has really been stellar. Unfortunately, guest experience has gone down the toilet, but they're making money, and you know it's it's an unfortunate price to pay, right? To make money when ultimately you lost focus of the original vision of the purpose of this place, and it's sad, right? Again, I really do hope that Disney invests in people that really do care about it and make a difference. So yeah, I guess
Yeah.
we'll wait and see.
Yeah, I agree. D23 could be very telling for many things. All the
Yeah.
stuff you just laid out, like maybe that's where they announced this Disney Prime, we'll call it, and
Yeah.
and maybe the stuff we're talking about with the future of these franchises. But more updates to come.
Yeah, yeah, we'll definitely wait and see. Speaking of Prime, Joe, EA, we mentioned a couple of months ago that they were looking to get acquired, and Amazon and Apple were two of the, I guess, more, uh, I guess, suited companies to do it, and allegedly Amazon is going to go forward with the acquisition. This is rumors; it's not 100% confirmed, but um, there's been some retractions, but it's been very interesting. Like there was a claim that was retracted. Of course, it's probably because these things have to be done like in secret, and kind of like what Activision, the Activision Microsoft thing, which I don't know if you saw that um there's a thing in Europe, like an European court is probably going to try and block it because they're saying it's too
Wow.
big. Yeah. So I mean, I guess we'll wait and see on that, but it could be like there's like they retracted the report. More specifically, USA Today retracted it, but it is a strong rumor, and it's been going around for a couple of months now. This is nothing. Uh, it more than likely is true. It's just that because of insider training and all this stuff that these are two huge companies. Um, they they probably retracted for that reason. But Joel, if true, man, this is a big get for Amazon. EA, I think financially they're fine. It's just they cash on the whales, and the whales keep them alive. But they haven't really have they haven't had a really good hit since probably Fallen Order. They really stumbled with uh Battlefield and a couple of the releases. Have you seen the reviews for Madden this year?
No.
No. Hold on, let me pull up the
Fact
Metacritic here.
checking live.
Metacritic,
Madden
yeah.
Madden Metacritic scores. I got to hear this. This is news
Yep.
to me, man. I have not seen it.
Wow, I'm surprised that you haven't, dude.
Madden's not
It's
my
it's not
typical.
your forte.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
I've
look at this.
spent.
Is JoJo All Star Battles at 78 on Metacritic. Nice for PS5. Sweet.
That's good.
Yeah. Um. Madden 23. Oh, great. Thanks, Metacritic, for breaking.
Well, as you're looking that up, I mean, I
There
will
you go.
say, oh, you got it.
Yeah, I got it. Madden 23 Metascore is at 69. User score is 1.4.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Jeez. Wow.
Yeah, bro.
That's sad.
Uh, you know what? Take this with a grain of salt. I am not a game developer. I attempted to be, but the guys that work in Madden, in like, this is no secret, but probably a lot of people don't know about it, right? But we that live here know that they moved their offices. So
Yep.
they had an office move
Mm-hmm.
this in the last year, right? It's like
Yeah.
right before the pandemic, or like during the reopening process. Um, so a lot of this stuff, like that's the first thing that I thought, right? It's like I saw the reviews and I saw like people are going nuts and even like players are like taking dumps on it. But what I thought is like this guy's like changed offices, like who knows what could have happened, right? And then again we go to accountability, but there's plenty of job openings at EA right now locally, so it could be telling, right? Um, but it's they're in a strange place, man. They're like they people love to hate them, right? They do put good products from time to time, um, but I just don't know. I think that like the biggest get for Amazon is probably their mobile stuff that they can just put on the Amazon store for their tablets. I think that's the big get for Amazon on this, right? But I don't know, man. How do you feel about this? Do you think this is gonna mess up the Star Wars stuff?
Yeah, I actually think I'm of the same mindset of you. Like, there's been enough rumors about this beforehand. When CNBC instantly shut it down, and some of the other ones started saying, "No, this isn't true," I think it was more so like it's not true yet.
Yeah, yeah,
And you've heard me say it many times. I really believe this. But where there's smoke, there's fire, and there's been a lot of smoke around the conversation of EA and Amazon specifically. So I'm not saying it's a done deal yet because papers need to be signed, but I do believe that's the direction things are leaning for this report to have come out from USA Today. Obviously, been retracted since. Anyways, with that out the way, like you mentioned, I don't think they're necessarily like a business underwater. I think that
no,
they're
no,
they're
no,
they're stable and they know what they've done. They've been in a safe zone. They've been known for their games that people are going to play just because of the rights that they hold. Like you're talking about their FIFA and their Madden and all stuff, right? Like these are things that are going to get them their money in and out. It's a done deal. So it's a safe thing, right? And so with Amazon investing in them, like they're getting a company that's going to be, it's they're not they shouldn't really look to lose money. But with that being said, I don't think anybody invests in something for it to be the same. I think you take it to the next level. And when you have a company
yeah,
like Amazon, I think they have it the chance to take EA away from being the hey we EA Sports in the game joke that people make, and instead being the guys that can actually try to do different things, try and do something new. Like they would actually have a company that holds the capital to be able to actually take a risk, take a chance, and actually do something special. And maybe you get these other spin out games that are EA originals that are from some of their sub studios and really can make something special that's separate from their traditional game lineup. So yes, I think this is a good thing if it were to happen because of the love of the company. I don't think this ruins Star Wars by any means. If anything, this probably helps that get done even faster.
Hopefully,
You
yeah.
know, whatever they're working on. Not that I'm rushing it, quality or
Oh
quantity,
no, absolutely.
but no, I think it's in good hands. And if something bad happens, like I think Amazon's so much about making a profit as well, and they wanted to do so well, they would they would cut that axe out real fast and say, okay, we're not going to do something because it's going to cost us in the end.
Yeah,
So I feel confident about if this goes through that they'll be in a good position long term. And I think if anything, like that could be why, like you mentioned, like why even CNBC had to shut it down and put that out there because it's like, yo, there's a lot of money involved in
yeah,
this.
yeah,
Stocks are going to go flying if and when this deal gets closed. So you know, the whales are moving, and this could be a big opportunity for them to absorb this company. And I think it's coming, man. I think it's coming.
yeah. Couple of quick things. There's rumors that there's going to be a Nintendo Direct for this month. There's also rumors that their PlayStation is going to have another uh, state of play
Yeah.
this month. So we'll see about that. But the big rumor with Nintendo is that they are going to announce that they're bringing Wind Waker and Twilight Princess to the Switch. Of course, they did it for Wii U. Yeah, I can definitely see this happening, right? And I can also see a full reveal of the new game coming out. That's coming out. What they said, spring next year. Oof. After after Elden Ring, they better bring it. They better bring it. Um. So yeah, not much there, but what do you think?
No, I think it's great. I mean, this is another company that's doing just fine.
Oh,
they,
Nintendo's
they
doing
they're
great. Yeah.
they're doing great. So when you add in news like this, it's like great. They're able to do stuff like this. That's going to actually, I think, really help them continue to grow their business and do really well. I mean, Sony's a smart company, man. Like this is not going to be a problem at all.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they should be fine. And releasing that for Christmas, like
Yeah, yeah,
that's it's like a home run, right? It's like you release those games for Christmas, you're gonna sell a bajillion of them. Yeah, man, no
easy.
no brainer. Last bit of news: Sony, or actually, yeah, I got one more thing. Sony announced that they are acquiring Savage Game Studios, based out of Finland, and that they're making a push for mobile games. So not much to say there. It's we'll wait and see. I know that they in the past kind of tried to make a push, but
The
uh,
Sony Xperia days, man. Remember the
yeah,
the
Sony
whole.
Xperia. Yeah, man, I remember Sony Xperia. I had two other phones. There's
Oh
probably one laying
wow.
around here somewhere, and I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, not much to say there. It's more of a wait and see. But yeah, it's they're looking to diversify. This with along their PC push. It's gonna be very interesting. But last bit of news is that Sony is also investing in From Software's parent company, Kadokawa, and along with Tencent. So
Wow.
I'm not really worried, right? Because it's this more it's an acquisition. It's a stake acquisition. Tencent is acquiring 16.25%, and Sony is acquiring 14.09%. I This is good. I think this gives Sony a little bit of leverage with making with working again with FromSoft, and there's still rumors that we're gonna get a reveal of a Bloodborne remake, or like not remaster, but like ground up, kind of like what Demon Souls had. And of course, no brainer when it comes to investing when your small studio made the best selling game of the year so far. So you know,
Nice.
pretty is they're the From Software are they really earned the like a their premier developer status. Like incredible to see what they accomplish, and when you compare to like CD Projekt Red, right? Where you release your game is absolutely broken. And
Mm.
yeah, granted, the PC version for Elden Ring was all busted when it came out, but it's way better now. It was fun on consoles. But yeah, they really established themselves as a premier AAA developer, and good for them. They really put out good products. So good stuff. I don't know if you have anything to add to that, sir.
No, we're good. We're good.
Cool. All right.
Uh,
But that
I
is what I got, sir. What we got.
Absolutely. No, it's been a great episode, my friend. We got much more to talk about in our future episodes. That's where I want to tell everyone, please, if you would consider subscribing to our podcast, it really would help us out. We say it each week. We do this from our hearts. We do this out of our own pockets. We're not, really, sellouts in any ways. This is a passion project, and we're not asking you to give us money. We're asking you just to hit that subscribe button to support us and really help share these episodes with your friends and your family. Really would greatly be appreciated. So we're on places like Spotify and SoundCloud and Amazon Music and Apple Music. So find us on your podcast platform of choice, subscribe there, write a review for us on those platforms. That really helps us out. We'd greatly appreciate that. And if you're watching on our video versions on our YouTube channel, thank you to all of our new subscribers. We want to ask those of you that are not subscribed to please make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube channel, like the videos, share them with your friends and family, write comments, give us some feedback. We'd love to hear from you guys and really welcome it. Also follow us on social media at No Load Time. That's at No Load Time, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. We're on there as well. Make sure that you are following us also on our Twitch channel where we stream live our episodes as we record them. No Load Time Altogether on Twitch. That's No Load Time Altogether on Twitch. If you're watching right now on our video version, you're seeing the handles of all the things I'm talking about down below. So make sure you check those out. And last but not least, if you have any questions, comments, or feedback, we'd love to hear from you. So send an email to noloadtime@gmail.com. That's noloadtime@gmail.com. And maybe, just maybe, we may even discuss what you've sent to us on a future episode. Thank you all so much, and we'll see you on our next episode.
Thank you guys. Stay safe. We'll see you again next time.